before I forget, Valali Rusha nichukue. So I'm here to grab it because if I don't, staki mahali tunasumbuana na Val. Yeah. Good morning, karibu sana. This is Y254 and we are excited. I don't know if you guys are excited. Personally, mi nasikia too. You know, my excitement comes with jumping. So it's just that I have to be professional and I have to sit down, yeah? So, ni sawa tu. And there's something that's amazing that hii sauti yangu venye unaisikia hivyo. I know I have a nice voice, you don't have to tell me, but I can't sing. I can't sing. Then I am with an amazing woman in the house. She is not a musician. Si eti mwanze kuniambia yeye amecheza kwani leo tumekuwa watu wa Thursday, hapana. That is totally different from what we would think she's here to talk about, but she is gonna be entertaining us as we kumaliza, yeah? But that is not what we are here to talk about today. We are here to talk about health. And when I talk about health, we are basing our conversation today about breast cancer awareness. And that is something that has been an issue in the society or in the world at large, breast cancer. And there are things you would ask, how do I know that I have breast cancer? How does this begin? What happens? And breast cancer remains one of the most common types of cancer affecting women worldwide, yeah? And early detections continue to save countless lives each year. Yet, despite ongoing awareness campaigns, many women still lack access to the right information and regular screening. Today on the show, we take a close look at breast cancer awareness, its causes, prevention, and the vital role midwives play in educating women about breast cancer. And so we are jumping straight to it. We are jumping straight at it. First, before we start now talking about what breast cancer is, we are going to look or introduce our guest in the house today. She is looking amazing. So let's get to hear from Wairimu Wambui as she tells us who she is, why she chose to discuss about breast cancer awareness, when she is a midwife, by the way, yeah, you would expect maybe someone else from a different field to discuss that, but she, as a midwife, has a background and quite a great knowledge in regards to that. So yes, karibu sana, good morning.
Good morning. Asante sana for the introduction. Like some introduction you hear and you're like, wow, it's me. Yes, but yeah, my name is Wairimu Wambui and I am a nurse midwife. Been practicing midwifery for the last 2 years, and like the role of midwives like in breast cancer awareness is because we want to make every woman aware about not only like the reproductive health is not only about excuse me, not only about pregnancy and giving birth, it's also about breast, because that is the vital organ that actually feeds the baby, and it's very vital for the first 6 months of life of the child. So you cannot take away the breast from midwifery. Yes, and this is an issue that has been affecting many women and many moms, and they're not aware of it. Yeah.
Amazing. And like you've heard from her, she's been practicing this for 2 years, and you wonder, okay, so where were you about all those years in your life and why now? Apparently, she was doing something totally different from anything close to health. Imagine. Let her share about that, and let's get amazed, because I was practically surprised to hear what she was doing and what she's doing at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, I was practicing as a makeup artist. Sorry. Yeah, that is way away from health. Yeah, but I am very passionate about beauty, about styling, about fashion, and all that. But like as I was sharing earlier, I felt like it was just a transition away from makeup into midwifery, and both aspects deal with women. Yeah, because as a makeup artist, I started I had been, before I came into health, a makeup artist for around 9 years. Yeah. Then when makeup was not like accepted, it was seen as a thing for bad girls and all. Like when you have makeup, people used to look at you funny. Yeah, and listening to women. And you know, when you go as a makeup artist, a woman will tell you about everything and anything, you know. Yeah. And now transitioning into health, also dealing with women, like it's a space I love, I thrive among women. Yes. And I'm so honored to be now in this space whereby I'm dealing with health. Actually, the space I'm in, we deal with purely home care. I practice midwifery, like I do antenatal clinics at the comfort of your home. I do home births, all these. People tell me maju stuff that people do, that you see on the internet. That is all we do, like water baths, like women birthing at their own space without feeling pressured by hospitals or anything. Yeah, like home baths and postnatal care. We do absolutely at the comfort of your home.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Home births. Me, I think I'd go for that. Anyways, bado sijapata hata mtu, so wacha niachane na hiyo kwanza.
We'll be ready for you when time comes.
So, maybe when we dive into the conversation, there's someone watching and they don't understand anything in regards to breast cancer. Yeah. So, in layman's language, how would you describe or explain breast cancer?
Yeah, so basically breast cancer is abnormal cell growth in the breast. There's the normal breast cells, and now when we talk about breast cancer, that means they're abnormal. They're cells that are not supposed to be growing in the breast that now grow and form a tumor, yeah, or a diversion of the breast. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So someone would wonder, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this issue? So what is the importance of the discussion about breast cancer and the awareness, especially to young women?
Yeah, so unfortunately, this is a type of cancer that affects more women than men. Yeah, if you didn't know, men also get breast cancer.
Oh.
Yes, they do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now it's a cancer that affects more women than men, and it's the highest cancers that women contract in the world. And the flip side of it is, when detected early, it's the cancer that many women recover from, like fully. Like you go through the process and all, and you get full recovery. Like it's the highest recovery level of any cancers. Yeah. So like this, creating awareness is to say that, like any change, like you need to know. Nowadays we don't insist on breast examination. It's awareness, because we are different. My breast tissue is not the same as your breast tissue. Is being aware of what is my normal breast tissue and what is abnormal. And the earlier you detect that, the better the chances are in survival and even saving the breasts and all. And even if we have to like do away with the breast, like the survival rates are very high. But also due to lack of information, also now the death rates are also very high, because it's a very common form of cancer. Yeah. Maybe
you've said about breast examination, which some of us might, personally I don't even know what I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give us some of the ways we can kind of detect that I don't think this is normal, or I don't think there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
How do we know, so that at least we can, because like for example, I'm not pregnant, so I would come to you as a midwife and you might not get to understand or detect the issue with my breast. So as at home, or maybe living my daily life, how would I detect, or how would I notice that there's something that's wrong with my breast?
Yeah. So that's a very important question. And like I said earlier, like we need to know what is the normal for me. You know, for every woman, we encourage breast awareness from as early as 20 years, as early as a woman develops, a girl develops breast, but they are more aware of themselves like from 20 years. Yeah, so you need to know what is my normal and how do you do that. There are 2 ways you can do it, actually 3. You can do it lying down. You can do it, but the basis is you need to stand in front of a mirror so that you know the, like, what is the color, like when you look at your breasts, what do you see first, you know, like how are your breasts, are they inverted or not, like inverted like the nipple is going inside or not, because that is a point of assessment. Because if your nipple is not inverted and now after a while you're looking at it and you see it's inverted, it's a point of concern. Yeah, you see the texture, then you feel the texture, you know, you put your hands on your waist or like on your hips and look at the view. You put your hands up, look at the breast the way they are, you put your hands down, look at your breast, so you have a visual. And we encourage this self breast awareness every month after your period, because there are different phases in the menstrual cycle, and all these affect the breast. But the best time to examine yourself is right after your period, because then there are no hormones affecting the breast. It's not swollen, it's normal. So like a day or 2 after your breast, you just go to the mirror, stand straight, look at the color, how are the nipples, like the breasts in general. Put your hands on your waist, look at your breasts, put your hands up and look at your breasts. You see, if you examine this every other month, you will be able to tell, this was not here the last time I checked it. This was not here, the nipple, the things to look out for, discoloration, what we call orange peel sign, that is the skin looks like an orange peel, ni kama umedungwa, like an inflated part of your breast. Yeah, it's called an orange peel sign. So you look for that, you look for discoloration, you look for inverted nipples, you press your nipple and look for discharge, any blood discharge, any kind of discharge that was not there initially. You're supposed to look out for that. Yeah.
Wow, like I'm even thinking about what I'll do when I get home.
Yeah.
Like, because this is, like, you need to start as early as you can.
Yeah.
She said that if you detect this early and it is counted, you can get healed and be saved, because once you detect it from an early age, then it's possible for us or them as the health specialists to help you. Maybe other risk factors, maybe lifestyle, genetics, family history that comes in with breast cancer.
Yes, there are. And we like to categorize them into, they are the non-modifiable risks. That would be age, that you cannot like it's beyond the non-modifiable, is beyond your control. Yeah. And then there are modifiable risks. So in the non-modifiable risks, there are age. Older women are more prone to getting this type of cancer than younger women. That does not disqualify that younger women can get, but older women are at a higher risk. If you come from a family whereby women in your family have been getting breast cancer, that is also a risk factor. You come from, like, you have a genetic malfunction, that is also a risk factor. Yeah, and now we go to the modifiable risk, obesity. A lot of intake in alcohol, smoking, tobacco, inactivity, that means you don't exercise, you're not active at all. Yeah, those are some of the modifiable, because that means you can actually work on that and modify your lifestyle in such a way that you lower your risk to leave it to the non-modifiable. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We get back to exercising. Na tunawambianga hizi vitu kila wakati. Kila siku tu, we still remind you, Vala naimba. You guys, if you don't exercise, Val is looking at me as if ni ukweli, by the way. Exercising is very important, and let's take care of ourselves. We have just heard about the conversation that we were being told, love yourself. Loving yourself is taking care of your body.
Yeah.
Like, exercising is part of you loving yourself. So, kama you just lay around, sleep all day, and you think you're loving yourself, unajidanganya. That is not love.
Uongo bana.
Yeah. Like, you're lying to yourself, and because you're going to, sasa hebu niambie umelala all day, you didn't exercise. You didn't even take this test, yeah, to see what is happening, eh? Vitu tu zinaendelea kwa mwili yako, and then by the time you realize you have cancer, something you would have avoided. So please, let us be very, very, very careful about that. Na tujipende, by the way, guys. She is a midwife, meaning she deals with issues in regards to breastfeeding, breast health. So is there any link between breastfeeding and lowering breast cancer risks?
Actually, there is. In terms of, we all know that estrogen, as a woman, that is a vital hormone. But when it comes to, and that runs as long as we have, we are having our periods. So that means it runs from when we start our periods until we get to menopause, we are exposed to this hormone. But when it comes to pregnancy and breastfeeding, this hormone is suppressed. That means there is a time in our life, like personally I have 2 children. That means when I was pregnant until when I stopped breastfeeding, I was not exposed to this hormone. Yeah. So this means that there was less time of me exposed to this hormone. Why am I insisting on this hormone? Because this hormone, it causes the cells, if there are any cells in the body, it like feeds them to grow. Yeah, so that means there's lesser time of me being exposed to this hormone, that this hormone is not as active in my body as a person who is not pregnant and is not breastfeeding, because even in breastfeeding the hormone is really lowered, so that the hormone that facilitates breast milk is very high, so it suppresses the estrogen hormone. Yeah, that is the link between breast cancer and breastfeeding. Yeah, you're less exposed to the hormone. That means there are lower chances of you
getting the breast cancer.
Yes.
Wow. So that
and also sorry.
Okay.
Also breastfeeding causes the breast to mature, like the fiber in our breast to mature earlier. That means there won't be time for mutation. That means the breast is mature, there is no more growth that will happen. So that means there is no growth of the breast cancer cells that will grow on your breasts. Yeah.
In my generation, we feel like breastfeeding itaharibu shape, itaharibu figure bana. Yeah? Why would I breastfeed my aje sasa na I want to still look as pretty, as beautiful, as in shape? What would you tell us in regards to breastfeeding and breast cancer and the way people are perceiving that?
Yeah. First of all, breastfeeding, we call it liquid gold. Like breast milk is liquid gold. Besides feeding the baby, like it heals so many other like things. It is active, it has a lot of immunity that helps the baby, even the mother, heal. Yeah, we like to recommend breast milk for musiende kufanya hivyo, kuuliza a breastfeeding mother si unigawie kidogo. But it can even help reduce stretch marks. Yeah.
Oh.
If a baby has acne, we advise like you put breast milk in the bathing water. It helps reduce all that acne and all. Like it's just liquid gold. So if you're like deriving your child from this, I know there are all these formula baby will do, but they miss out a lot. Like there's a lot of hormones that help regulate the baby and also your body. There are immunity that the baby receives from your breast milk, like so many benefits that cannot be found on any other kind of milk. Yeah. And also now, as you're breastfeeding, your breast tissue matures, so that means, yes, of course it won't be as the way, like personally, let me use myself, it won't be the way I was before I had children. Of course, now, like the way the breast tissue has matured, it won't look the same. The elasticity goes because now it expands, and later when we are done breastfeeding, it goes down. But the benefits surpasses the, like we have bras. Like, who can tell I have breastfed? No one. You know? And it also, like the conversation that you're having earlier, like self-love, like this is the season of my life that I'm in, and I'm breastfeeding, and I'm helping my child. Also, I'm helping myself, like what I talked about, the breast maturing, lowering my exposure to estrogen. That means breast cancer, lowering my possibility of having breast cancer. That is, I'm helping myself, I'm helping my baby, and like now, like looking all you know. Yeah, you look at the benefits, they are more than, yeah.
Na utazeeka.
Kuzeeka ni constant.
Yana imekuja vibaya lakini ni ukweli.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Ni heri tu kubali mapema, and if you are in marriage and you want to, sasa ukiingia kwa marriage, unless otherwise you it means you're going to have kids. So kama you still want to slay, please, no one is rushing you. Kwa kina ndoa hakuhami. Take your time, yeah? Take your time, slay as much as you want. And now know, like she has said, it's a season. So are you ready for everything that comes with that season, yeah? Juu sasa surely, mbona utese mtoto wako ati juu unataka kuslay? If I was your husband, hey. Anyways, how can women with breast condition during breastfeeding, like lumps, know when it's serious and it needs checking?
Yeah, I like to think that if it's not going away, even after you've taken measures, like for example, when you're breastfeeding, lumps will come, redness might come because of an emptied breast, you know, other issues, redness, discharge will come, maybe you might contract mastitis and all. If you've contracted mastitis, we've given antibiotics, it's not going away. That's a point of concern. If your breasts are engorged, we have applied heat therapy, like you put a warm cloth on your breast, you've massaged it, you've emptied the breast, the lump is not going away, the engorgement is not going away, it's a point of concern. There is a discharge that is not breast milk, we've given antibiotic, it's not going away, it's a point of concern. So any issue that is not going away even after you've applied the necessary measures, that's a point of concern, because when you're breastfeeding, you'll have lumps, you know, and you'll think that's not like a point to rush to the hospital. Yeah. When you have a lump, have you tried breastfeeding, like emptying the whole of your breast? Is the lump still there? Is the lump, does it move? Sometimes when the breasts are engorged, it can't move. Have you emptied your breast? Is it like benign, like it's not moving, it's just stuck there? That's a point of concern. You've given antibiotic after mastitis. Sometimes it comes with a discharge that is not breast milk. The discharge is still there, so it's a point of concern. Yeah.
Amazing. I've just remembered that she said breast cancer affects both women and men. So I want her to tell us, how does, or what does it look like to have breast cancer in a man's, like for a man? Yeah.
Like, you know, breasts are breasts, just that in women's breasts, it's more fibrous tissue, there's more fat, that's why, and also the hormone, like I said, the hormones in our body, they promote the growth of the breast tissue. Unlike men that have testosterone, that will promote more growth of muscles than of breast tissue. So that means everything that is present in a breast is there in men. That means the occurrence of, remember I talked about a lump, it can occur in a man. Yeah. Redness, the orange peel appearance, discharge from their nipples. Yeah, it might look funny because their nipples are smaller, but it can have some discharge. Yeah, discoloration, redness, blood oozing, like there can be a spot of redness and then it bursts and there's blood oozing. Yeah, such things. in as much as it's small, but all these things can appear in a man's breast.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you're not left behind. I'm Joshua, and I wanted you to understand because she had said about that. So you'd be there wondering, okay, so what about us? The signs are almost similar to those of the women. So if you've heard what she has said, take action. Angalia, look at your body. Yeah. Again, to self-love. Yeah. Go back, check yourself. She said, stand kwa kioo. Me, I don't know if you guys stand before the mirror and look at yourself, because that is part of what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is very, very, very important, because we want to get to screening. Like, we can't know there's a problem unless we check, and unless we go looking into it. Yeah. So what is the importance of mammograms and clinical breast exams? Because mtu atakuwa like, aisi nimekuanga tu hivi all through, why should I go checking upon myself? Alafu most people love saying, kitu unatafuta wewe utaipata. You know, like, if you go looking for a problem, you will start thinking a pimple has popped, like, what if it's cancer, what if... So what would you tell us, or what is the importance of us going for the screening?
Yeah. Actually, before you get to the screening, back to like looking yourself in the mirror, it's an issue of shame. Like where we are coming from as Africans, you know, like these things were like, you don't talk about it, like your growing breast, you don't even touch, you don't, nothing. You just wait and just wait for the time you'll have children.
Yeah.
That's when you'll interact more with your breast. Yeah, like it's an issue of shame. It's an issue that women need to address. Like, my body is beautiful, my breasts are mine, and you know, like, I can look at them, I can examine them. You know, besides looking at the mirror, there's a way that you can like touch your breast while lying down, especially, and like see whether there is a lump, all the way from your collarbone up to the upper abdomen, from your mid chest up to the axilla. That is the underarm, yeah, because the breast tissue spreads all the way there. So you can check yourself and you see if it's like you're embarrassed by your body, like you're not able to do that, because society has told us that would mean bad manners, and you're not a good girl, or but more awareness is coming that you can actually do all that, touch your breast, know the normal, like I talked about, like, this is my normal breast, you know, like other people's breasts will feel larger or more dimpled than others. But if you find a dimple that was not there initially, that's now where the point of concern. Now coming to screening, we encourage, because I talked about age as a risk factor. Initially, we used to encourage women from 50 years to go for regular checkups, but now it has come down to 40s, because now of the changes that has come up, the early menopauses and all. So the age limit has been lowered to 40. So that means at 40 years, once you get to 40 years, we get to do regular checkups, that is mammograms, and that is done 2 to 3 years. Like, you can do it, if I do it this year, I'll do it 2 to 3 years after today, because now early detection, this way we are able to detect anything out of the norm that is coming up. Yeah, and that is very important. Like I talked about, we can already like deal with anything that is coming up early. You know, if there are breast traces, sometimes it starts as traces, even without a lump. That means something like chemo can help, or radiation can help deal with that. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. You know, as she was talking, let me first give a disclaimer. This is to only the married women, okay? Yes. So what is the role of your husband or a man in helping you screening, or maybe taking care of your breast health and all that? Okay, is there anything he could do, or anything that he's supposed to do as a man in your life to help you in regards to the same? Because I know you're married, so maybe you're in a better position to speak to us or explain it to a married woman. What is the role of the husband in regards to the same?
Yeah. Actually, husbands have been very vital in the discovery of breast cancer in women, in their significant other, because this man has been interacting with your breasts. Yeah, you know, like in intimacy, it involves breasts. So they have been interacting with your breast. Even like I talked about shame, like you're like, I can't touch my own breast. So when your partner touches your breast regularly, so that means from year 1 and year 3, he can tell there's a difference. And he can touch and be like, babe, this was not here like last week or the other month, or I've never felt this kind of lump or redness, or like this is just abnormal, you know. Yeah, because men are logical thinkers, that if it is this shape, it has to always be that shape. Yeah, like, and then they register it in their head. Yeah, so that would be a point of helping their own women in such cases, and also encouraging them to touch their own breasts. Yeah, yeah.
So that reminds me, there's a lady I knew, she passed on last year, may her soul rest in peace. She had breast cancer, and then it was on one breast, moja ndo ilikuwa imekuwa affected, and so she went for screening, akaenda akakatwa, and with God's grace akapona from the cancer, na ikaisha, but with time it recurred on the other breast. And now myths or stories say that the husband was abusive, he was not supportive, and maybe she was stressed out, and that's why the cancer resurfaced. So is it really true that how this person lives, or the emotional effects that come with the kind of environment mtu anaishi, can affect how you deal with cancer as a general, or maybe breast cancer?
I wouldn't say like directly. If currently like they're dealing with it, the stress and the torment and anguish could lead to what we call metastasis, you know, like the cancer spreading more, because it moves from the breast tissue, it goes to the axilla. Once it has gone through the circulation, because the cells know the breast tissue cells, the easiest place to go is to the next breast. Yeah, if they've gone to both breasts, the easiest place to go is the organs near the breast. That means it will go to the lungs, it can go to the stomach, and all the abdominal area. Yeah, but I would say that maybe this, like we said, we talked about lifestyle, you know, like our habits. This place, like she was in anguish and all, maybe before all the cancer would have gotten out of the body, maybe it had already moved to the and now all the stress levels and the anguish, it would have like made the cells grow. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Maybe as we conclude, you can tell us some myths or misconceptions that we believe about, like in regards to breast cancer, that are not true.
Yeah.
Maybe kuna vitu tumeishi kuamini this is it, but that's not how it is.
Yeah. The biggest one is that breast cancer is a death sentence. Yeah. Like ukishapata breast cancer, that's it for you. There is no hope. That when you get breast cancer, you must your breast has to be removed. That's not necessarily true if it's the first stage, because we categorize them in stages. That's not true for them. That's why we are advocating more and more for early detection, because if there are only traces, there's no need of removing the organ. Means that once you remove your breasts, like your breasts are removed because of the cancer cells in the breast, that you, as a woman, you won't be able to function. That is not true. Like, you will continue to function as a woman. In regards to your normal hormones, your cycle will still be there, because now the hormone that is produced in the ovaries, not necessarily in the breasts. Yeah, you will continue functioning as a woman. You can't be a man just because your breasts have been like cut off. Yeah.
maybe how would you encourage someone out there, they're watching or they are there wanasikiza the whole conversation and they are afraid of going for screening. Maybe they've noticed something is not so okay with their breast, but wako na hiyo uoga. So what would you tell such a person?
I would actually encourage them to go and get checked. Like we have insisted throughout this interview, there are campaigns that have been running. October was the month of breast cancer awareness. Like, go get checked. It might not be breast cancer. Like, I can't give my story. Very early, after high school, I had a breast lump. I remember being tormented and thinking, this is breast cancer. Oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm so young. I don't even have children. I'm not even married. Like my life has just amounted to nothing. I'm just 19. I think I was 19 when I discovered the lump, you know, because of all the myths and I had listened to. I remember going to hospital and doing an ultrasound and finding it's just a benign, like it's not a malignant cell. It's just another tumor in my breasts that was not cancer. So there are so many other causes of tumors and breast diversions that are out there. They're not necessarily cancer. So do not be afraid to go. And it can be like, personally, I have had surgery 3 times on my breast to remove those tumors, and they were nowhere close to breast cancer. But I remember being afraid at some point it would be breast cancer, because I relied on the myths. You know, I had then I was young, we had about breast cancer. I remember there was a breast cancer survivor in our village. So like, she didn't have breasts, and you know, like, you just grew breasts. What do you mean that I won't have? You know, like all those fears. But I chose to put them aside, went in for screening, got checked, and it was not cancer, and they were removed, and my breasts are okay. I breastfed my children, and I'm okay, nothing missing. And everything is well. So go get checked. It might not even be breast cancer. And if it's there, the earlier we detect it, the better. Because like I said, like, we categorize them with stages and how long it has been there. So if it stresses, it's easier to deal with. And like, you just leave it, ignore it. It goes and grows. It moves from your breast. One breast goes to the next breast, goes to your lungs. And when it goes all the way, it's harder to deal with. Sometimes now we get to stage 4, whereby even chemo won't help. Like, we just give palliative care, whereby we just look after you and just encourage you as you wait for end of life, because now the cancer has spread to all other organs and there's nothing much the doctors can do.
So I hope you've listened. It's better that you treat it before it goes to the extreme kwenye hatuwezi kukusaidia. And we want you to live a happy life, like she has said. She noticed, and wakati alienda akarealize sio cancer. So please, if you realize anything, take action in regards to that. Sasa guys, I had promised you something. Hey, that is where we are headed as we close up. Now here is a message, and I am reading it directly as our director Georges has sent. Today is the happy birthday to her sister, okay? So yes, happy birthday to my twinnie at Lilian Lilo, my forever built-in bestie. Wow, I wish I had such a brother. Anyways, life's been one big adventure since day one, and I wouldn't trade a second of it. I hope your day is filled with love, laughter, and everything that makes you happiest. Iku nice. I hope Lilo message imekufikia, okay? And we are not leaving it at that. We are singing a song for you, and like I said, we have a melodious voice in the house. So anaenda aje kama hajaimba, And mimi nilikuwa nishajitetea kitambo, nikasema kidogo hapo kwa kuimba nitapiga makofi ya kiimba. So the stage is yours. Sing for our Lilian a happy birthday song.
So Lilian, happy birthday, and this song is for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lilo. Happy birthday to you.
That's amazing. Let her tell us quickly where we're going to find her on.